Hey out there, this is Buzz with TheSurvivalBuzz. So I know I've talked extensively on this channel about self-sustainability and the ability to raise your own livestock and garden and produce your own calories aside from prepping, right? And up till this point, it's kind of just been in the back of a lot of people's minds. I feel like it's something that a lot of people probably feel like they're incapable of doing, and then there's probably quite a bit of people out there listening that it's something that they want to start, they just haven't yet, or they're nervous to, or whatever. But it's really coming down to the point that this is your last opportunity to learn those things. I know myself and several other people are always talking about, you're running out of time to stock up food, and that's true. I mean, shelves are getting barer by the day, right? Spreads are getting wider. The availability of certain things, dairy, eggs, meat, I mean, you name it, is getting harder and harder across the board, across the world. But now there's panic buying going on again. Hong Kong's shelves are completely wiped out for the most part. People are having trouble even ordering online and getting food and stuff there. So that's inevitable, right? Eventually it's going to happen. It's going to be worse than it is now. It's going to be harder to find things than ever before. I mean, I don't know about where you're at, but where I'm at, it's nearly impossible to even get chicken anymore. That's not an entire whole chicken. I went yesterday to Walmart locally, and they had a few chicken breasts, and I was blown away that they even had them. Originally, I was going to grill some chicken. I didn't have time to thaw some out, so I thought I'd just hop in there and grab some real quick to throw on the grill. Well, to my surprise, there was only a couple dollars difference in chicken and sirloin, so we ended up eating top sirloin. Which is kind of what I'm getting at, is that, these availabilities of things aren't always going to be there. And yes, you need to prep hard and fast and buy things while they're available, but beyond that, you need to be looking at more self-sustainable ways to produce your own calories. And I know I'm not the only channel out there preaching this, but it's really coming down to the wire. And you guys need to turn a corner. If all you're used to doing is just stocking up on food and supplies, you need to start thinking about the bigger picture. Because the way things are going, some of these things are getting harder and harder to find. And now I'm sure a lot of you have heard with fertilizer issues, soil issues. I mean, it's going to get harder and harder for even big producers to start, keep producing things that you and I use on a daily basis. And you might think, well, what does it matter of soybeans and corn and things like that? Well, you'd be surprised how many things out there that consumers buy at the store that have these products in them. So availability is getting worse and worse. So now is the time to start learning self-sustainability. And I haven't been making a lot of videos lately, like I've said in previous videos. I'm working a lot more now. But aside from that, I want to start making more in-depth videos to help you guys out there. And some of you are probably even better than I am. But I know that there are probably a group of you out there that have no idea what you're doing or where to start or where to go forward from here. I made a small video on butchering chickens. I made a few, a compost video or two, and as of recently, my raised bed video, gardening video. So I'm starting to touch on those things, but I want to do more in-depth things. I recently got a computer. Up till now, I've done everything on my smartphone. So now I have the ability that I can make a little bit more in-depth videos to help you guys out there, along the line to help you be more self-sustainable. So right now is the time that you need to be learning about all these things, and I'll help as I can along the way. But you really need to focus on reading and watching videos and learning everything that you can right now. Even if you don't have the capability of livestock, I encourage everybody to think outside the box as far as that goes. But I would assume everybody has the capability of some type of gardening, even if it's just a few items to slow the inevitable. But these things are going to get harder and harder to get. The supermarkets, I'm sure everybody notices out there, but it's taking a big chunk out of my pocketbook every time I go to the store. So I'm trying to learn more and more about gardening and things to where I can produce my own things, as well as livestock. Up till now, I really only have chickens and ducks, but I'm looking into pigs and turkeys and all kinds of other things as far as that goes. And they can be confusing and kind of complicated. But gardening really doesn't have to be that hard. It's just practice and really putting in the work, and you will see results. So, but with that being said, like I said, fertilizers, soil, and everything are supply and demand issues are starting to happen even for big suppliers. So even the small gardeners are going to start seeing it. I know we're just now kind of dipping into spring. We're not really there yet, but the stores around me are starting to roll out their soil and their seed starters and some seedlings and different things like that. And for the most part, they're stocked up on seeds here where I'm at. So every time I go to the store, I'm buying seeds. But some of the seeds I bought last year, even with everything going on in the world, this year I bought more of the same type of thing. It might have been a different brand, but I'm paying 3 times as much as I did last year for seeds. My wife was blown away. I walked out with a little Walmart sack full of seeds the other day, and I had spent like $35 or something like that for garden seeds. So these are just going to get more and more outrageous, and the ability to get these items is going to get harder and harder. So now's the time to start learning about that stuff. Start learning how to do your own compost and different mineral agents and things that you can use that are readily available to you now, because that might not always be the case. The harder and harder it's going to get fertilizer and things, the more and more people are going to be buying up these other items. So supply and demand is always an issue. So I just wanted to make this short video and encourage you guys and let you know that I am working on more in-depth videos to help you guys out in your endeavors with gardening and livestock and such things. I don't know if that's what all my viewers out there want to see, but at the time, I feel like this is the most important thing for me as well as you guys to learn out there. I have enough food put back right now that I'm a little comfortable with going on to the next thing. But gardening and livestock is really the way to go. So you guys need to start studying up on this stuff. Start buying the things you need now. I was fortunate enough that I did get a fairly decent tax return this year, and I spent a lot of money on gardening supplies so that I have supplements and things that I can use for the next few years to come, given that they might not be available around the corner. So something to think about, little words of encouragement. You guys keep stacking it. By no means you don't want to stop prepping, but you need to start learning about self-sustainability, or you're just not going to make it. I mean, and I would hope that everybody out there can see the direction that the world is going. So, as always, like this video. If you want to help support this channel, there are ways to do that down in the description box, as well as subscribing always helps me as well. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Later.